Hey everybody, it's me, Carrie. I'm back. If you're new here, thanks for clicking in. If you're returning, thanks for coming back. Prayer cards. If you've been to a Dollar Tree, you've probably seen these. They get them in all the time. They get different designs, some of which are really pretty designs. I think you may have seen me use this one before. I think maybe not. Anyway, I pick these up every time I'm there because they're $1.25 and they're super pretty, and I keep thinking there's got to be some fun things I can do with this. And you have seen me do something with them. I did this with the photo albums. I made a couple of these. Actually, I have 3 of them now. But I like these, and these are great. They were fun to make, and they give you a note card to write notes about each scripture. And I put some stickers, here, which was fun. And they're great, but again, I want them to put like extra pages in the back. And so this is still a good idea. I'll still probably try to make some of these. I do have a stash growing of these photo albums. And I was trying to do a different version of this using the binder rings. And I had taken one of these photo albums and I had punched holes and put the binder rings, but it didn't quite work out how I wanted. And so I thought it would be better to have, it got really thick and it was hard to move the pages open. And I thought it might be better to do something where I could flip it open more. So playing around with some stuff, I made this. Now originally this was supposed to have the index card in it, so that when you open this you would have index cards, and I wanted to have it be that the top would be one of the cards, the front of this card. The problem with that is, and I'm going to show you, this is the deck. This is the box of prayer cards we're going to use today. So let me show you. The idea was that you were going to have this here, and then when you opened it, you were going to have the scripture on the top with your line paper down here. But if you notice, when you flip this over, the scripture is upside down. So it's not meant to be flipped. Now I could have done it where I had rings here and had it open this way, but I thought that might be a little weird. And I was going to try to glue stuff on the back of here and just have it, so that I could still do this. And then I thought, Carrie, you're crazy. You have an idea here that's actually quite brilliant if you just pay attention to what you've made. So what I've decided to do is we're going to bring this up like this. And then it can sit on a desk, and each day you can flip over your prayer card and have a different scripture on your desk or table or wherever you want to be, craft spot. On the back, when it's sitting, you'll see the right side up, today's prayer on here. Okay, so and you just again flip it over. So it kind of becomes this sort of desktop daily scripture thing. I'm sure we've had these, and I mean, yeah, you can. I just realized these rings are not wide enough. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It still works. You could have it with a calendar on the back of this, and have your scripture and then have a calendar or whatever. But I thought this was kind of fun. I did attach this bow here, and I utilized the cover. Now this was actually one of these prayer cards, but I messed up on it, so I salvaged this front piece and used it to tile it. So I'm going to show you how I made this, and maybe we'll fix some of the issues I'm having with this one and come up with one that's really nice. So let's do that. Today we're just going to focus on the cover, not that, because obviously the inside doesn't take that much, but we'll focus on the cover and go from there. So for the cover we use cardboard. Now this is from Welch's. It was a giant bag of fruit snack pouches I got at Costco, and I generally actually turn these boxes into magazine holder type things, but I have so many of those because I may have a slight addiction to Welch's fruit snacks, and so I thought that this would be good cardboard to do this with. And once you cover it and everything, it's pretty solid. So let's move this aside. And we're going to cover the cover with this, and then our inside piece cover will be this. Luckily enough, you only really need one 12 by 12 sheet to do this, and I can actually get both pieces out of here. So what I did, the measurements for this are, I actually have measurements for this, you guys, are 4.5 by 6.5. Pretty simple. 4.5 by 6.5. I keep hitting my light. All right. So we will take a ruler and we will, let's see. You know, I always have this dialed down when I made one beforehand so I know what I was doing, and then when you get on the camera, it's a whole different ballgame. Also, I move my desk around and I keep forgetting where I move my pen. So we're going to mark this at 4.5. And then I'm going to take my ruler on the downside so this is nice and close. And we're going to draw a line there. And I'm going to do it one more time. Here to right there. And then we will draw lines right down. Now for this, I'm not using my cutter. I don't know that my cutter would go through the cardboard, so we just use our X-Acto knife. I hope for the best. Last time I made the other one, I didn't actually have the cutting mat on here. It's getting to be time for me to, I think, redo the covering on the desk, because I've cut into it several times. There's that. I'm going to go over here and do this. Get rid of this excess. Okay. Now we have our two 4.5 sheets. Pretty perfect. I will probably have to do a little bit straightening up once we get everything cut. So now lengthwise we want 6.5. So we'll mark our little 6.5. And go straight down. And then what I'll do is I'll go ahead and cut this one. And then use this one to measure this one. Okay. So now we have two pieces. And they look pretty, actually look pretty close. With the exception of maybe right here. Okay. So now we have our front and back cover. And then we will use this to cover it. So what I did, I just used my ruler to kind of measure out a space around the outside of this. And now we will cut it with scissors. And then we'll just use this same sheet of paper This is strange. Why this doesn't want to. Alright guys, for some reason, oddly enough, it doesn't want to. It's so weird. Probably would have worked out better if I'd used my cutter and measured all this before I did this video. Okay. I'm going to tell you right now, it doesn't have to be perfect around the edges because you're going to be covering the odd cuts with that other solid color. So now what we will do is we will attach this to this using glue. Now this is a fairly, I won't say big switch, but a switch definitely from junk journals to this, but I really was wanting to do stuff with these beautiful player cards. And so I was playing around with them, and this is what we came up with. Try to align this in the center. Fold and fold. And go up here and fold. and fold. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, the last one, when I did it, I kind of cut here at an angle, but I'm going to try this one a little bit differently because I didn't like how that came out. If you were to look closely at the back, I had to cover up some areas where the cardboard was poking out. So we'll just snip off this extra stuff here. And I'm using scrapbooking paper that I showed you in that haul I did. Okay. Let's just give this a slight. That's going to work much better. All right. And then we will glue this down. Trying to make sure that I'm staying in the frame. Okay. Now I probably could have used, my extensive stash of cereal boxes for this. It would have worked just fine. But the cardboard for this Welch's box is quite thick. So I thought it would kind of make almost like a chipboard kind of feel to it, which it does. So that's one cover done. Okay, so then we'll do the next one. I'm gonna be quiet for a minute because I'll probably fast forward through this so you don't have to see this in real time twice. Okay, so now we have our two covers. That looks pretty good. Okay, so now the next step is to cover the inside, and we're going to do that with this really bright blue solid cover. I think if we did it... Okay, so this one we're going to do on the cutter. And I may just fast forward through the cutting. So for these, I wound up cutting them 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. I'm going to glue these bad boys on. Okay, one more. Okay, now we have our covers for our prayer card stand. And I think this is going to be the back since I messed up and got glue. This will be the front. So let's put this aside. So what I did for the last one, like I said, is I utilized the cover. And since I'm hoping I don't mess up on one of the prayer cards, I'm going to cut this out of here. Because believe it or not, I think this is so pretty. I need to also figure out how to get that same gold going on because that's gorgeous too. That iridescent gold, I love it. So let me get a pair. That will just leave it on the floor. Not going to bother picking that up until I need to. So, I want to cut this oval out. So I'm going to try to do it with this like I did before. I'm kind of hoping I can keep some semblance of the gold. Okay. Let's see if I can. Okay. So I think that looks pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that on. And this will help tie it into the design of the cards inside. Okay. Really pretty. Love it. Okay. When I did the holes on here, I felt like this is a bit wider. Well, I'll do the holes off camera. I just punch them. You've seen me punch holes before with my thing. So, and I don't want this video to be too long. So now the cover's made, I will punch the holes off camera and also punch all the holes in the prayer cards. See? Off camera. And when we come back, we can assemble it. And you're probably wondering, I just finished now. It's not like it'll take that long. And that is because this is the only ring this size I have left. I have some larger ones, but this is the only size I have left of these rings. So we need to get some more, then I can do that. Because I'd like to make more of these. I may try to sell these in the shop because I think these are kind of fun. And then I will also have something to put here in the center. Like I said, I won't have the one like this because I don't have, I'm hoping not to mess up on any of those cards. And I just really don't want duplicate sets. I mean, if that's something you don't mind, you have the craft space to have duplicate sets of these cards, hey, more power to you. I do not have that. So, we'll end it here. And the next video, I will have when I need to finish it. And then I'd like to, as you see this from here, I put this bow, I have so much stuff piled over here, you guys. Put this bow on it. I originally had it on the ring, but then I realized I couldn't open the book if I did that. So, yeah. We will try to find a way to embellish it with something on the front cover. This is, and I know, like, you think, oh, you can add a charm, but the book doesn't really flip open unless you do, and even if you have one hanging on the inside. So, just having some fun stuff on the front like this one, I think, is good enough. Okay? So, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more, come back to the rest of this. Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you know when I upload. And just remember, I'm just me crafting for mental health, helping myself and others one DIY at a time. Bye. See you next video.